Good evening, and welcome to the Night Owl. It's good to have you here, whether you're a newcomer or a frequent visitor. We welcome all company, but content may contain adult language and scenarios that may not be suitable for all audiences, so listeners' discretion is advised. If you like what you're listening to and you want to help the podcast out, head on over to iTunes where you can subscribe, rate, comment, and review. And if you want to help the podcast even further, you can donate at our Patreon at patreon.com/thebirdbrainpodcast. Timing. Some people may abide by it much more than others. Lock your doors, check your windows, and get comfortable. Because you won't be sleeping tonight. I give you the witching hour. As a detective, I've seen some crazy things. Not always literal, but in my dreams. Or they come as fleeting thoughts. I've solved a lot of cases. Prevented a ton of crimes. My department, they have no idea I have this. Personally, I like to call it a curse. Some may say it's an ability. It's disturbing to have premonitions of someone's last moments, brutal moments, burned into your mind, just staring you in the face. I will say, many times I am on the scent before the attacker even has a chance to do a thing. I seem to get this thing down pat, and it seems like I always have an hour before it actually happens. Doesn't leave me much time, but it always seems to help. The people have no idea, and they just go on about their lives. As they should. How do you go about telling someone that in about an hour you'd be killed by a guy hiding behind the corner? Or in your house? Or that train ride you're taking isn't going to take you home. As much as it keeps me from living a normal life, it allows someone else to continue living. Oof. Depression, it gets ugly in the fall for me. I lose sleep, lose track of the days. Things all start to blur together. It gets darker much earlier. Time itself is an anomaly for me at that point. I'll admit, everything gets mixed up slightly, but I do my best to stay on top of things since these people's lives are at stake. Things get foggy when this all happens, and I'm not as precise, and truthfully, sometimes I am wrong. It's a long weekend though, and although we're never off, I'm off duty. And I can rest. Lord knows I need it. The clocks go back too, which means an extra hour of rest, if all goes well. I fucking knew it. It's 1 a.m. I have an hour. I know exactly where this place is. That guy, I've seen him before. He's gonna move in quick, so I need to hurry. This is the guy that attacks during witching hour. Whatever that means. All right, 20 minutes. She's in a red coat. She gets in a car with, I guess, her boyfriend. Guy's in the back seat. It's a parking garage on Harmon Street. There's Harmon. Here's the garage. Wait. What the hell's going on? Why is it taped off already? I had time. Detective, we tried to call you. What happened? Male and female victims looked like they were ambushed from inside the car. He struck again. And on time, too. 12 a.m. 12 a.m. is 1:40 a.m. Clocks went back, remember, sir? So there you have it. Tune in next week for another story to keep you up at night. Just keep you tuned in. If you have a story of your own you'd like to submit and have featured on this podcast, email at thebirdbrainpodcast.com with the subject headline Night Owl. You can follow us and stay up to date on Twitter and Instagram at the Bird Brain Podcast. And if you have Discord and you love podcasts of all kinds, come and hang out at the Podcast Junkie Discord community. There's a lot of great people, a lot of great talent, and amazing podcasts.